Well, good evening, folks. Welcome to Bluegrass Chef. Thanks for tuning into my channel. Tonight we're going to do a quick and easy bone-in pork chop in a cast iron skillet. Finish it in the oven as an alternative to doing what I've done for quite a few years, shake and bake, you know, just whatever you can think to do. It's very simple, very easy, and it really tastes good. And it's also something that a lot of the restaurants use. So stick with me and I'll show you how we do it. Alright, so what we have here is we're starting with the basic thing. If you haven't tried it, I really like to brine any kind of pork and fish if I have the opportunity to do it. And simply the brine is made out of, I just boiled a cup of water. When it came to a boil, I put in 3 tablespoons of sea salt, a tablespoon of garlic, and a tablespoon of Tony Chachere's. Removed it immediately from the heat, whisked that all in. Reason why I use 3 tablespoons of salt, which sounds like a lot for a cup, is I add cold water to it to bring it to room temperature, or maybe just a little bit chilled so it doesn't poach the meat. So as it ends up, you end up with 4 cups of liquid. It takes about 3 cups of cold water to 1 cup of the hot. So that has been sitting in the refrigerator for 4 hours, and I've got my cast iron preheating in the oven to 400 degrees with just a little bit of oil in the bottom of it, and when it comes out I'll show you how I prepare it. Alright folks, so we've got the oven and the cast iron skillet preheated to 400, so I'm going to go ahead and take that out. And I've already got a burner on the oven on medium-high heat. I'm going to leave the oven at 400, but you can see I've got this cast iron. We're just going to go ahead and put it right on that hot burner, because we're going to go ahead and take this chop that's been marinating for about 4 hours. Get it a little bit left. I'm telling you, this is going to be delicious. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and get this on the plate, and we'll show you what the next step is. Okay, so now we've got the chop out of the brine. You want to go ahead and make sure I put it on a paper towel, on a paper plate, just to get some of that water, because obviously you don't want to have any kind of water hitting your oil. And I've been letting it sit here for a few minutes. You can see it's smoking, but that's normal. It's going to actually smoke when it goes back in the oven. However, what we're going to do is I go ahead and take a little bit of Tony Chachere's Original Creole, and I go ahead and give it a liberal coating because I want to get a decent crust on this thing. And I'm going to do this on both sides, and a little bit of just regular old garlic powder. We use Lowry's garlic powder. And again, this is the same ingredients that I used in the brine, but this is really quick, really simple, really easy. And we're going to go ahead and put that back on the heat. And I'm just going to go ahead and use and put this right in there. You can hear that sizzle. And turn it back. It all depends on your oven. It's going to splatter and spray a little bit, but we're going to go ahead and give this a good browning. And when we go, it's going to take about maybe 5 minutes. Once I get a good crust on that side, we're going to go ahead and flip it over, and we're just going to put it in the oven about 15 minutes. It'll be done. This is an inch thick bone-in pork chop, weighs about 3/4 of a pound. Alright, so this pork chop's been on just for a few minutes. It's got a good sear on the other side. I'm going to go ahead and add some more Chachere's. And some more garlic. And then I'm going to go ahead and flip it and let you look what the other side looks like. That's beautiful. I'm going to turn this burner off because we're going to go ahead and throw this in the oven. Still stay at 400 degrees, and it's going to take about 10 to 15 minutes to cook it medium to medium rare. Alright folks, so it's been about 15 minutes. Wait till you see how this comes out. Perfectly cooked. Go ahead and put it on a trivet. I got a little bit of bread in there. Needs just a couple more minutes. But does that or does that not look good? Pretty simple. All you need is a pan. Doesn't have to be cast iron, of course, that's the best way to do it, but just any pan that can go in the oven. Just sear it on one side, flip it over, put it in the 400-degree oven, 15 minutes. Of course, you got to check and see how much, you know, if you have multiple chops, you know, it actually doesn't take much longer to do 2 chops. So this is the finished product. I'm going to go ahead and let that set while the bread finishes up. I'm going to plate it up. And one thing I was remiss upon is, of course, now I'm going to have to go slow. I apologize. But since my wife let me know that the last video I kind of debuted one of our favorite wines with the pork dish tonight, we are going to be going with Three Thieves. Of course, I say we, it's going to be me, because my wife is out of town on business and she will not know what I had for dinner tonight until she sees it on YouTube. So I'm going to go ahead and plate this up and show you guys the finished product. Alright folks, so here's the finished plate. I got a pork chop, some russet bread, mashed potatoes, of course some applesauce, and some salad. So just to give you an idea of how good, a little bit of fat there, but so we're going to go ahead and cut into this, and I'm going to show you how. Wish you guys could see that. Now I understand why everybody talks about smell-o-vision. I don't know if you can see the steam, but this is going to be